Beside me, the former Tacoma Star, JJ Schmeck. JJ, thanks so much for joining us tonight. Welcome into the booth. We got a fun one tonight between Tacoma and the Empire Strykers. I mean, Tacoma, JJ, we've seen on kind of a bit of a slow start. They've gained some legs over this latest homestand. What's been your biggest key for the Tacoma Stars so far this season?
In my opinion, it just looks like they're coming out and they're playing free, and they're playing like they don't have anything to lose, even though there is that little bit to lose where they may not make the playoffs. But I think with the push they have on this homestand, they're going to get it done. They're going to make a deep run into the playoffs this year.
Tonight it's a really exciting one that features some high-profile talent. Nick Pereira on the side of the Tacoma Stars, and for the Empire Strykers, Marco Fabian, a talented player. They are our two players to watch, and they have been on a tear so far this season, putting up goals, assists, numbers like no other. Let's take a look at our players of the night graphic. Nick Pereira, 14 games played, 14 goals, 11 assists, but Marco Fabian kind of puts those numbers to shame when it comes to it. 19 games played, 24 goals, 16 assists, total of 40 points. JJ, a world-class player. Marco Fabian, what's it like when the Tacoma Stars have to face somebody who nearly is coming out scoring 2-3 points per night?
I think when it comes to him, you know, he can score the goals and he can assist. It's just understanding as a player like I was myself, his left foot isn't his strongest foot. You try to force him that way and you double down when he gets the ball on the boards, because he's had a lot of goals where he rolls it in and he hits it with his right and it goes in this side net. If we can eliminate that tonight, I think we have a very good chance of coming out with a multiple goal win and getting him to maybe hit a point or two tonight.
Now, those are our players to watch tonight, but anytime that you are watching a Tacoma Stars game, anytime that you're watching an Empire Strykers game, goalkeeping is such a factor. When you have a guy like Chris Toth in the net, when you have a guy like Brian Orozco in the net for Empire, you're bound to see fireworks. Chris Toth is leading the league in save percentage. JJ, what's it like when you have such a brick wall person like Chris Toth behind you defensively?
Well, I can say with me playing, Danny Waltman was the Tacoma Stars brick wall, and I got to play against him in training, and it's like he's a tough one to beat. It doesn't matter if you're shooting from close or you're shooting from far. The key to success tonight is that backdoor tap in, finding the extra pass, and just putting it in the net. Because with two goalkeepers like we have tonight, scoring from behind the yellow or just at the edge of the arc, you're going to find it hard to do.
How do the Stars handle that all-time sixth attacker, which is Brian Orozco, crossing over that midway stripe? And it's been so successful for Empire. It's truly an experiment that has been working out night in, night out. Empire on a great win streak coming into tonight. And what's it like? You are facing a goalkeeper who can shoot from distance. He can get all the way down to that lower wall and put in some shots. They keep possession so well. How does Tacoma answer that?
I think the way to beat it is you build your house, you get your foundation, and when that ball goes to him, you just shift it. It's kind of like you're playing a man down, and you just shift, and you kind of always have a double team. You let it be a one-on-one with the guy shooting from 20 yards away from the goal, and you understand that Chris is going to block that. And then when it happens, you have your two front runners ready to go, because that's going to be the key, is getting them caught in transition.
Do you have a defensive player in mind tonight who's going to be the biggest key in maybe shutting down that extra attacker role, or maybe leading the transition, the counter-attack breakout for the Tacoma Stars?
In my opinion, when we go into that defensive shape and we have our point, it's going to be an Eddie Na. It's going to be a Tyler John. It's going to be an Adrian. It's going to be the people like that, to where when the ball gets down low, you know that Logan and Alex, they're going to take care of what they got to take care of. But it's when we get the ball in our hands, how quick can we catch them on the counter? And with the speed we have up top with Eddie and Tyler, I don't see anybody on their back line catching them tonight.
Now, a one-time Tacoma Star that JJ and I were talking about off-camera pregame, Justin Stinson. He's always a problem anytime that these two teams get along, anytime anybody in the league has to face Empire Strykers. Justin Stinson, so talented, spent a little bit of last season with these Tacoma Stars. How dangerous is he in the game of indoor soccer? How clinical is a guy like Justin Stinson?
If you look at his time in St. Louis and you look at his time with the U.S. futsal team, he is so quick and he's shifty. We have a player like that now in Tacoma. His name is Willie Spur. I played against him at Ole Town down at the Evergreen State College. He is just quick. He moves, and you never really know what he's going to do, so you have to expect the unexpected with him. And if we can expect that, will make some stops tonight. But he's a good player.
So much fun, so much things on tap, in store for tonight. You never know what you're going to get anytime that the Empire Strykers are in a match, especially against these Tacoma Stars. Tacoma pushing for a playoff spot right now. St. Louis is on their heels, trying to chase down the Empire Strykers, who have a firm grasp right now in that Ron Newman Cup playoff standings. A little bit different format this year, where everything is bubbled down in San Diego. But first, you got to get to San Diego. You got to make sure that you are invited to the party. The Tacoma Stars need to find themselves there. We are moments away from kickoff. We're going to step aside momentarily. The national anthem is on the way, so stay tuned. We'll be right back with kickoff right here on MASL TV.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back into the accesso ShoWare Center in Kent, Washington. I'm Peyton Behrens. Alongside me, the one and only JJ Schmeck, former Tacoma Star attacker. The Tacoma Stars are playing host to the Empire Strykers right here on MASL TV, and MITRE is the official game ball supplier of the Major Arena Soccer League. Established in 1817, MITRE is one of the leading soccer brands worldwide and produces some of the best soccer balls in the world. Learn more at mitre.com. Now, as mentioned previously, the Tacoma Stars are looking to make a push in the standings. Let's take a look at how those standings are currently sitting. You see that red line. If you are below that red line, you are currently out of the Ron Newman Cup playoffs. The top 8 go. Tacoma holding on to that last spot, but St. Louis is in the rearview mirror. You can see Empire sitting in that 6th spot, the 6th position on the board right now. JJ, Empire's feeling really good. Tacoma, they're feeling the pressure.
Yeah, no, Tacoma's feeling a little bit of the pressure, but ultimately, we're at home tonight. It's a Friday night. The sun has been shining all day. I feel like coming into the game tonight, they're going to show a little bit of fire, and they're going to come out and they're going to try to make a statement.
Tacoma really looking to capitalize on the homestand that they've been on. This is game 7 of a 7-game homestand. Dropped a tough one to Milwaukee, won a couple against Harrisburg, won a couple against the Baltimore Blast. They found themselves in a battle with the San Diego Sockers last week, uneventful there. And here now they are going to cap this off against the Empire Strykers. It's the second to last home game for the Tacoma Stars. Just one more on the calendar when they host the Kansas City Comets on March the 21st. Tacoma has to take care of business at home. There's no such thing anymore as dropping points at home. They have to collect all 3 points in this game, in the Kansas City game, and then go out and get some gritty wins on the road.
Yeah, I mean, it's the part of indoor soccer. You got to take care of the business in front of you, and winning home games is something you have to do. You don't want to drop points at home. And if we can win these 2 games tonight, I think it's going to set us up or not 2 games tonight, win the game tonight, win the last home game of the season, and it's going to put us in great shape.
Tacoma in their traditional blue with the Argyle kits. It's the Empire Strykers wearing the triple white jerseys. Empire is often this season been running the 6th attacker all the time. Such an exciting move to see, and I can't wait to see what Orozco has up his sleeve. We've seen an overtime game winner out of him this season against Milwaukee. I don't know if you caught that highlight, JJ. Guy hit an absolute banger upper bins. You gotta watch out for Orozco from distance because he's a goal-scoring threat. What I do hope that this game brings out is Chris Toth's desire to get out of the net, go cross the midway stripe, get himself into the attack. I would love to see both sides start that goalkeeper attack from an early point of the match. On the field for the Tacoma Stars, Tyler John, Kai Briscoe, Chase Hansen, Alex Caceres, and Mike Ramos are the 5 on the field for the Stars to start things off. MASLsoccer.com is your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League, all the latest news, leaderboards, highlights, and more. We are underway. Caceres goes deep. Palmer is defending John. Palmer with a good poke and feeds it up the wall. Here's a quick 2-on-1 situation. Toth's gonna come off of his line, called into action early, and he puts that ball into row 10. Just a missile. Mothers and fathers, hide your children, watch out. Chris Toth has an absolute rocket of a foot. Stinson over the ball. No fancy hairdo this time for Stinson. We're used to the platinum blonde. Looks like he's gone for a much more subtle, darker buzz cut. Cox, he wins one up the wall. He's been absent the last few games over this homestand. Questionable for much of it. Looks like Jamel Cox is healthy enough to go tonight. Logan Jones gets on the field for the first time. The magic man himself, Marco Fabian. Tyler John with some heavy pressure on Orozco.
And before the game, that was kind of the press I was talking. We were able to get it up higher at the field at their yellow line as opposed to at our yellow line, where we can have Tyler John pressing there and forcing him into having to dump it to the corner.
Orozco crosses over, dishes. Perez plays back. Martinez on the ball. He takes his time. Orozco creeps his way forward, top of your screen, and just goes forward out of it. Caceres is monitoring the goalkeeper. Strategically, JJ, this is a way that teams have now gone around the MASL one pass to your goalkeeper rule. They play a defender all the way back there, and now they can essentially play back and forth with that last player as much as they want. on short field situations, they don't have to worry about the goalkeepers throwing the ball into the goal anymore because that rule was taken away. It seems like Empire has really found a loophole in the rule book, and it's one of those things that they're the only ones doing it, and they do it extremely well. It's the NFL's tush-push with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, no, they're finding a way to get a guy that they can't pass the ball back to more than once, like you stated, and they're pushing him higher up the field. They're working around. They're trying to find that open space, especially with the goalkeeper like they have that can shoot as well as he does. I mean, he already has, what, one game winner this year?
Indeed he does. Here's Pereira backing down. Pereira in the corner, poked away on the double team. Jones steps into the tackle, and this ball pops up and over the plexiglass. Pereira no longer wearing a knee brace on his left leg. Know that he had some injury issues, kept him out of a couple of games, and had him coach from the bench on a couple of games in the road trip. Jones wins a header. Tonight, no knee brace for Pereira. This is Misa Lopez, the Tacoma Stars reserves call-up. Done extremely well in his couple of MASL games that he's had this season. Fast player, great defensive skill, and what a shot he has on him.
Yeah, he's not afraid to go forward, and when he sees that open half a yard, he is not afraid to take that shot. I mean, ultimately, there's glass all around you.
Briscoe with a heavy touch, bouncing ball. John creeps in. Cox cuts through the middle. John evades the double team. Caceres now swings it low. Bottom of your screen, this is Hansen. Cox gets fouled in the middle of the field.
Yeah, like I was stating, when you have a shot like that, you can't be scared to miss because there's always going to be a rebound potentially coming your way. Like Nick Pereira, he's a poacher. That ball comes into him inside that arc. You have a great chance that he's going to score a goal.
Stars newcomer is on the field. You hear Romero. Romero was traded to Tacoma from the Dallas Sidekicks. Pereira turning in the area, dangerous spot. It shoots out for Romero. Romero goes flying into the boards. We should potentially have a shout for blue. Romero wants a boarding. Shocked to see that the pocket has not been reached to or even considered. Take another look at the replay. There's Romero. He's head down. I guess there's no contact with the board, but it doesn't necessitate any sort of contact for it to be boarding. Romero, free kick quickly. Cisse watches this ball roll back into the hands of Orozco. Stinson plays it off the wall, goes forward. Alami with a strike, and he opens scoring. Cuts into the middle all by himself, hammers one from outside the top of the arc, and the Empire Strykers have a 1-0 lead, just over 3 minutes played.
It's a tough one there. We double down and we give him the inside of the field. And we just allow him to run in almost in a sense free. If we could have pinched down from the far side or stayed tight on the boards, just a little bit cleaner with the doubling down. And I think we would have been completely fine there. We just gave him a free shot from in between the yellow and the blue dot.
Back underway, long ball, looking for Fabian. Headed out by Misa Lopez. Empire with the opening goal. 1-0 in the first quarter. Just over 10 minutes to play left in this first quarter. Perez doing everything he can to evade Chase Hansen. 10-9-1 the Strykers are coming into this match. Orozco clipped by Briscoe. Advantage was played. Orozco stays down behind the play. Kai Briscoe will go through every challenge at 100 miles an hour. There is no stopping Kai Briscoe. He's been one of my favorite players to watch. Just a little late on that challenge.
It's like the time I played with him at the Tacoma Narrows. He never slows down. He doesn't know when to stop, and you could see it even when he played at the University of Washington or Ballard FC. Like, he just goes.
Jones wins this ball. He's dribbling through 3 shirts, gets around Stinson, couldn't evade Robert Palmer, one of the better defenders in the league, Robert Palmer. So entertaining to watch on a nightly basis. I think we're so lucky with the talent levels that we have on the West Coast when it comes to MASL, because the guys that you're seeing, whether it's San Diego squad, Empire squad, Chihuahua squad, you are seeing some insane talent, some of the best that MASL has to offer.
No, ultimately, yeah, you're seeing the best talent, and I think the biggest thing is the understanding for the game. I mean, you look at Marco Fabian, who came out of playing.
Fabian looked to shoot Briscoe with a block. Excuse me, JJ.
No, all good. You come out of Marco Fabian playing outdoor soccer his entire career. He made that transition into indoor, and he made it kind of seem easy. It's just his understanding for everything that's going on and his understanding for soccer in itself.
5th time that these teams have met up so far this season. It'll be the last unless they face off in the playoffs. Jones plays for Briscoe. Briscoe on his left. Good challenge, timed well from Aguirre. Bodies flying, 2 Stars end up on the ground. Foul called, Stars gonna have a free kick. 5th time that these teams play each other. Empire has got the better of Tacoma nearly each of the time. Tacoma has 1 win and 3 losses against this Empire side. Pereira over the free kick. Romero to his right. Caceres just above that. Far side from Pereira is Ramos and Cox. We'll see what Nick Pereira has up his sleeve, leaning against the plexiglass. Pereira waits, 2-man wall in front of him. Pereira analyzes. Romero left foot shot just wide. Cox redirects it backside. Orozco foot save, pokes it away. Cisse, heavy touch, leaves it. De Leon stripped. Romero, he's pushed down from behind. Stars with another free kick from a dangerous area.
In a situation like that, if we can press like that, it doesn't allow the goalkeeper to come higher up the field and get him into that full-time 6th attacker. If we can do that, we can keep this momentum that we have going and keep the high press. I think ultimately we'll come out on top here tonight.
Pereira over the ball again, right foot run up. Pereira looks, analyzes, backside Cox. It's a diving Robert Palmer. It's the hockey defenseman stop. Excellently displayed, and maybe saved a goal for the Strykers.
And like you stated a couple minutes ago, he's one of the best defenders in the league, and that just goes to show it right there.
Jones tried to thread the needle. Aguirre with a great deflection as Ramos was making a charging run at the bottom of your screen. This is Toth. He crosses over the midway stripe. Stars in the middle of some changes. Soft whistle blown in the center circle. I don't know about you, JJ. I know that you were a physical player when you played. I don't know if you're calling that either way on that one.
If I'm the one playing, I want the call. If I'm on the other team, I don't want the call.
Pereira finds Cox. Cox gets spun. No whistle there.
Maybe a little makeup call right there.
Orozco throws this off the wall. Correa, 133, takes it from another. Marco Fabian being the other 33 on the field. Correa, he was dealing with a hamstring injury earlier this season. Played last week. Couldn't tell if he was fully fit. Tonight will be a great tell. So far, so good for Adrian Correa.
If there's one thing I can say about Adrian in my time with him at the Stars, he plays through anything that he can, and he's going to give you 100%. So if he says he can't go on the evening, something's a little wrong.
Yeah, speaking with Adrian, he wanted to go, and he was probably closer to 50% health. He wanted every chance to go. Toth from the yellow line tries to redirect. Hansen's going to retrieve, and he's going to switch sides. Chris Toth directing traffic, had some good vision in front of him. Stars are going to try and just reset things. Caceres debates playing with Toth. Don't know if he realizes Chris Toth's feet were reset from the block. Here's Romero. He's wearing the number 80 for the Stars. John. Great pass finding Caceres. Caceres denied by Orozco. Palmer playing himself off the glass, waiting for help. Free kick called. Tyler John
And Palmer's smart there. He understands that if he feels any nudge on his back and he's that close to the boards, you're going to get the foul. He's a smart player. He's been around the league for many of years now, and he just knows positions he's going to get a foul in.
Fabian with a switch ball and a great shot. Alan Perez. Chris Toth gets a hand on it. Takes us into the media timeout. 6:10 to play in the first quarter. Empire leads 1-0 early here at the Accesso ShoWare Center. We'll step aside. We'll be right back. You're watching the Tacoma Stars host the Empire Strykers on MASL TV.
Daytech is an IT enterprise infrastructure provider covering networking, security, and more. Email us at sales@daytechinc.net to learn more about Daytech.
The Tacoma Stars are back and they're ready to turn things up a notch. Don't miss out on your chance to see the Stars in action live this season at the accesso ShoWare Center. Experience the fast-paced action of Tacoma Stars soccer for yourself. Head to www.tacomastars.com or call 253-856-6999 to get your tickets to an upcoming game today.
Green Drop offers a better alternative than the outdated compression sleeves and socks, truly providing long-lasting relief at an affordable price. Green Drop's recovery products are uniquely suited to help our athletes battle aching joints and muscles. Learn more or try it yourself by visiting greendropcompression.com. Peyton Behrens and JJ Schmeck in the booth tonight. The Tacoma Stars playing host to the Empire Strykers. It's 1-0 as it sits after the Alami goal, assisted by Stinson. A reset all the way down to the corner. Pereira, Correa are in the wall. It was a strike from distance that led to this. All 6 attackers are forward for the Empire Strykers, including the goalie Orozco. Brame, he wins it, he intercepts, but the toe poke is just too long. He's already under pressure. Orozco had to retreat. Brame goes through a challenge. He stays down. Whistle gets blown. He's going to need treatment. JJ, in the break we were talking, and you mentioned it during gameplay, but there was another instance of it right there. Tacoma Stars, high pressure, not giving Orozco a minute over the top of the ball. It leads to him having to retreat back towards his own goal, and the Stars are playing seemingly 5-on-5 soccer as opposed to what Empire does to control and dictate the game.
Yeah, and in indoor soccer, goalkeepers are just as good with their feet as they are with their hands. I mean, you look at Chris Toth, he came from playing outdoor soccer, and he was a forward, as a midfielder. He scored the goals. And then following in his dad's footsteps, he went into the net. All goalkeepers now are just as good with their feet as they are their hands. So if we can eliminate the goalie getting forward like he is, and with that high press we just had there, it's unfortunate that he got hurt, but we were able to stop it from them moving forward, and we were able to step our lines up and potentially create a chance for us to score a goal, because when he's up at midfield, there's nobody in the goal.
Brame is up to his feet. He's going to get some help and go off to the locker room. Unfortunate, especially so early in the game. What's that like in indoor soccer? You have a roster of 16. It is now down to 15. This is a grueling physical sport. You now have one less rotation off the bench. How much does this impact the game for the Tacoma Stars going forward?
It's a little bit harder to deal with, right? It's not like an outdoor or where you can only make a certain amount of subs in this, especially in Tacoma, and me coming from the reserves, it's that next man up. You have that next man up mentality, and with him playing in the back, somebody's going to slide back, which Tyler John in his playing days at Highline and Seattle U, he played as an outside back. I could see him sliding back into a defender position and potentially putting Eddie on as that defensive target. it is ultimately a little bit more difficult because you don't have another person you can call on.
Tacoma Stars get out onto the field. It's likely going to be a drop ball in favor of Empire, just a free restart. Kyle Rivers, Jamel Cox, Adrian Correa, Logan Jones, and Chase Hansen are on the field. The speed unit +1, Chase Hansen being a +1 around those other 4 guys. Adrian Correa, Logan Jones, Kyle Rivers, and Jamel Juice Cox, well known for their speed inside this sport. Long ball, Hansen's got to deal with it. Otherwise, Fabian was wide open in the middle. Rivers takes a touch inward. This finds the wrong man. Fabian, he gets it back. He strikes, it's just wide. Stinson chests it down. Stinson, he's got the lowest socks in the league. He plays this ball back under pressure.
Don't knock Chase Hansen. He's sneakily fast.
I would never knock Chase Hansen because if there is ever a guy to get the job done, it is Chase Hansen. It might as well be his middle name. That's why he has 163 games played with the Tacoma Stars. He is a veteran through and through. His IQ is through the roof. Stinson with a great cut past Jones. Reset and settled. Empire, this is what they do. They're going to maintain possession, and they're going to try and draw out Tacoma. It's going to be tough for Tacoma to try and find any subs. Fabian doesn't go for a sub. Thought about it. Now he dots a long ball diagonal. Stinson. Fabian. Perez. No sense of urgency when it comes to the Empire Strykers. When they have that 6th attacker, that goalkeeper all the way forward, it's a man-up situation, and there's no need for them to try and rush through things.
And right there out of Jamel, that's the closing you want. He's the point guy. You just close it down.
Good find for Fabian. He's in the arc. Kyle Rivers recovers well, and Jones gets a clear away. Cox missed out on the touch, but makes up with it on the second chance effort. It's a 2-on-1. Correa. Cox taken off of his feet. Fans go livid. It's a good challenge. 50-50 ball, and now it's out the other way. Something you don't see often. The Empire Strykers were out on the break, and now they're going to bring it back and slow things down.
And that's like we talked before the game, and in intermission here, it's catching them on the counter because their goalkeeper's having to make a 50-yard sprint back. If we can get the ball up the field like that, how Jamel did and picked it.
Into the corner, Espinoza. Take 10, that's all the time you'll need for Eric Bergerud to take you inside the game and get to know some of the big stars advancing the sport on and off the field. 10 for 10 airs weekly on MASL TV. Hansen with a clearance. This is Rivers. Romero. Espinoza doesn't get past Toth. Good foot save. Romero takes a touch between 3 white shirts. Comes out in favor of Empire. Chris Toth just timed that to perfection.
And it's like we talked, he stepped out quick like we wanted to. When it comes to the Empire, the reason they're able to have that 6th attacker so high is on that incidence there. They had 3 guys close down that ball on the boards and were able to win it back to where it's not an issue. They're really good at that this year.
Empire comes into Tacoma tonight with a 3-5-1 road record. Tacoma thought they maybe had some momentum going forward. Hansen misses out on a challenge, but this is Harold Hansen. He beat Chase Hansen, misses the shot just wide. Empire plays extremely well at home, 7-4-0, 3-5-1 on the road. They're looking to get their 4th road win tonight. A lot of road games coming up on the back end of this schedule for both of these sides, Empire and Tacoma. Long diagonal ball, Hansen heads it. Palmer settles. What a buildup, what a play. Hansen sets up his teammate Palmer to perfection. Palmer slots it past Toth. It's 2-0 at the ShoWare.
Yeah, it's a dink ball in. They're understanding that they have an overload, and Number 45 for the Empire. He's a bigger individual. He understands that he's going to be better in the air, and he just heads across to a freewheeling runner and an easy tap in. It's a tough ask for Chris and Chase there. It was well done by the Empire striker there.
Stars looking to get something back in this final 90 seconds. Misa Lopez with a strike. No, Briscoe was late chasing onto it. 2-0 as it sits following the Robert Palmer goal. For Palmer, it's his third of the season. Caceres looks, waits, picks out his mark. He goes long for Briscoe. Outside the foot pass finds Pereira. Pereira has a double team on the way. Caceres is the open man. He finds him. Pereira, eyes in the back of his head. I mean, he is facing the windows over there, and he's still able to pick out Caceres. Pereira puts it on his right, rolls it over. Deflected off the walls. Dangerous area, Ramos. Up and over the net. He's got 8 points in his last 4 games. He was red hot over the last weekend and a half.
Yeah, when he said it looks like Nick has eyes in the back of his head, when he gets that ball in the corner, it's almost like it's not glass and it's mirrors, and he knows where everybody is. From my time playing against him, he really does seemingly know where everybody is at on the field at all times.
He's Harry Houdini when the ball is at his feet. He is the magic man. Nick Pereira is fantastic. Toth under some pressure. Hansen plays it long. Pereira chested to Briscoe. Briscoe finishes. Picture perfect for the Stars. Briscoe goes airborne on the celebration, as he deserves. The Stars cut the lead. It's 2-1 Empire Strykers. What a beautiful goal for these Tacoma Stars.
It was almost a picture perfect like how the Empire just did. They played it into a big, strong guy like Nick Pereira, and we had a willing runner into the box. Not easy, but he had an open look on goal, tapped it in, bring it back to 2-1 with 18 seconds left in the first quarter.
Briscoe picks up his 3rd goal of the season. Pereira, all-time MASL assist leader, tacks another one onto his tally. 5 seconds on the clock. Empire not going to look to take a strike. Fabian is just going to hit this ball forward. And that does it for the opening 15 minutes. The Tacoma Stars got what they needed just before the quarter ends. It's 2-1 Empire Strykers. We'll step aside. We'll be right back. Second quarter on the way next, right here on MASL TV.
Daytech is an IT enterprise infrastructure provider covering networking, security, and more. Email us at sales@daytechinc.net to learn more about Daytech.
The Tacoma Stars are back and they're ready to turn things up a notch. Don't miss out on your chance to see the Stars in action live this season at the Accesso ShoWare Center. Experience the fast-paced action of Tacoma Stars soccer for yourself. Head to www.tacomastars.com or call 253-856-6999 to get your tickets to an upcoming game today.
Fans, it's never too early to start talking playoffs. Join 8 of our teams in sunny San Diego as they square off in the MASL Ron Newman Cup playoffs April 5th through 7th. Ticket deposits are now being accepted. Visit frontwavearena.com for more information. You can also visit MASL's website or scan that QR code there. Ticket prices are now available online. Secure your spots today. for the MASL Ron Newman Cup playoffs. JJ, it's been a hot topic so far this season. I'd love to get your thoughts on it. The MASL playoffs, they're going to sunny San Diego. It's going to be a bubble environment for all teams in those first 2 rounds. The round of 8 and the round of 4 will all be played at one arena, Front Wave Arena, home of the San Diego Sockers, on that new beautiful blue turf that they got down there. So there's no home field advantage through those first 2 rounds unless your name is San Diego. For all other 7 teams trying to make the playoffs, it should make for some interesting games, all on the same weekend. The 2 teams that come out will then play a home-and-home style final. What are your thoughts with those MASL Ron Newman Cup playoff format?
It makes it a little unfair to the fans of Tacoma, the fans of Ontario. It's a little unfair, right? Because you went, you supported all season, they get into the playoffs, and now you have to hope that they make it to the final. Now it makes the final environment a little bit more electric, if you will. I like it, but I don't like it. I'd love it a lot more if it was here at the ShoWare Center here in Kent. But I've been to sunny San Diego. It was about 5 years ago I went down there and I watched these Tacoma Stars play the San Diego Sockers in the old Coliseum. The Coliseum did need some updates, but let me tell you, it was a very cool experience to go down and see something a little bit different than you see here in Kent.
So those MASL Ron Newman Cup playoffs, you can get your tickets. It should set up for some great soccer. And yes, it does take away from those home field advantage games in the first round, like what we saw last season. Tacoma was able to beat Chihuahua here at the Accesso ShoWare Center in Kent at home before going down and losing to Chihuahua in Game 2 and then the mini game directly ensuing. It should take away the need for the mini game after the fact because it's all single elimination in those first 2 rounds and then the home and home following that. That is what I'm excited for. And an opening strike, my goodness, 13 seconds run off the clock, and Espinoza, before I can even start the call, has the Strykers a third. Look at Espinoza go. He just got the long ball on the backside, timed his strike to perfection. Here it is again.
It looked like Logan just got a little unlucky there. He's chasing down his guy. It hits off his knee, and it falls right into a number 9. And all across the world and every soccer event, you want a number 9 like that. Right place, right time, put it in the back of the net.
Long ball, Souza pushed in the back by Cisse. He's going to get the foul called. Felipe Souza, very good in the attack for the Tacoma Stars.
Yeah, Spitfire, just a guy that always wants to go forward, and he always wants to be right there, whether it's in attack or defense.
Caceres over the top of this with his left foot. Pereira, the other target. Misa Lopez gets it. Again, second time effort. Cisse. Lopez, it's just too tall. Pereira off the windows. This ball's pinging around like pinball. So as always, a goalkeeping change as the quarter switches for Empire. Brandon Gomez is now in the net. Don't count him out. He's got a goal on the season as well, just a singular goal. Chris Toth reads this to perfection. He comes all the way out. He beats Hansen to it. Little 6 attacker of their own. Tacoma Stars are going to try and give it a shot of their own. We are through the first minute now of play in the second quarter.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Gomez's 1 goal was a game winner in overtime.
It was Orozco who had the game winner in overtime. Gomez, his 1 goal early on in the season.
So 2 goalkeepers with a combined 4 goals.
Indeed. They love to attack. These Empire Striker goalies, you cannot count them out any minute of the game.
I mean, ultimately, it's the name of the game, right? It doesn't matter how many goals you give up as long as you score more than the other team.
Here's a headed ball back towards Chris Toth. And that's the idea of first-year head coach Anua Obasi, as it's full-blown attack all the time. Get up the field, find your numbers, possess the ball. And here's a good turnover after a high press. Hansen, though, secures it. But Empire is just able to keep so much possession, and it is reminiscent of MASL 3 years ago when there was the unlimited goalkeeping touch rule, where you could just knock a ball around and kill 6 minutes off the clock. And now you're seeing Empire do that, but just with a loophole in the rule book. Bring the goalkeeper over the midway stripe, take that risk, and it's a calculated risk, and it works out for them more often than not. Here's a good breakout. Pushing. Alami. Tyler John on the interception. Doesn't have the numbers for support. John puts it on his left. He don't need no numbers. Tyler John does it by himself. He gets the interception. He puts himself into position. He has a strike, and he capitalizes. Tyler John, you are incredible.
And don't let him, playing a defender at Seattle U and right back on our 2015 Under-23 National Championship team, fool you. When he goes forward, he is good going right and he's good going left. He is a strong, powerful man. When he gets that ball in the foot and it's on target, good luck goalkeeper blocking that one.
Tyler John now has 12 goals on the season. To say it's his breakout season, I think would be an understatement. He has become a backbone piece for this Tacoma Stars team. When it comes to points, I mean, you're looking at Nick Pereira, you're looking at Mike Ramos, you're looking at Tyler John to be the guy to go out and get nearly a point a game, which is what Tyler John has done so far this season. Espinoza's turning Misa Lopez. Rivers tried to double down. Possession kept and maintained for Empire.
And with Tyler John, he creates his own luck. He works really hard like everybody on the team does. But he is, like Coach Adam Becker used to say to us, we are all thoroughbreds, and you work hard. When you work hard, just like the Empire has been the past couple of weeks and throughout the season, good things come to you.
I owed Tyler John an apology. It was during the Harrisburg weekend, and during my call, I said he took a poor touch away from the goal. He managed to settle the ball on the next touch, hammer a left-footed strike from beyond the yellow line. This is Correa. Correa with Rivers to his right. Correa, it's just wide. The Stars so unlucky. I think Correa was trying to slot Kyle Rivers, and Gomez read it to perfection. Here's Fabian the other way. He has a strike. Toth gets two hands to it. Not super secured, and John's on the breakout. John took a touch away from the goal. I called it a poor touch in the moment. He has a strike and then capitalized and scored from distance, and he made me eat my words immediately. This is John again.
In typical Tyler John fashion right there.
Here he goes. John is into the corner. He's got Misa Lopez. He pulls it back.
I wish Adrian on that last possession there going forward, I wish he would have shot it. He always wants to try to pass. Every now and again, it's okay to take the glory for yourself, score the goal, everybody celebrates with you.
Pereira with a header. He was targeted again, just like the first goal. Caceres tries to get this one towards Cox. Hansen over the center circle. Back heel for Perez. Chase Hansen goes flying through, and the whistle's blown. Stars going for a change. Robert Palmer wants to get things going quickly. Rivers is still behind the ball. Palmer gets it set. Catch MASL Monday every Monday night on MASL TV and CBS Sports Golazo Network. Alex Bashavansky and Phil Levanko are joined each week by special guests from across the league to recap the weekend's games and discuss all the league's hot topics. Palmer, second goal scorer for the Empire Strikers. Souza with a good block, pushing it back and making Reyes chase it back. Gomez lobbed the ball. Stinson the target. Missed touch. Here's Jones. Jones looks forward. Cox. Stinson recovers well.
Empire, everybody is a willing runner, whether it's going forward or coming back. You look at Justin Stinson, 22 goals on the year, and is willing to work back to win the ball on defense. That is something that you look for and you just can't teach.
I think Justin Stinson is a bit of a unicorn. He's cut from a different cloth. I mean, he does it all. And, you know, he talks the talk, but boy, does he walk the walk. Stinson, long ball, no. Toth comes out for it.
Yeah, and I'm going to bring up something. Rest in peace, Joseph Kyrell. I remember when he went to Ontario, him and I were really close. he used to talk to me about Justin Stinson and just saying how different he was and his willingness to learn and be better every single day.
You know, Justin Stinson and Tyler John formed a friendship when Stinson had his small stretch here in Tacoma last year. They spent a lot of time together on and off the field, and they're two very similar style players. Toth comes out, reads it well. Romero maybe slipped on the carpet just a bit, finds himself in better position for this one. Luckily falls for him. Stars gonna settle. They still trail by 1, 8 minutes to play in the second quarter. Jones uses the geometry angles. He finds Romero up the boards. Romero's taken to ground. Whistle's blown. Stars will be on the free kick.
And what a move out of big, smooth Logan Jones right there. The ball's coming in across his body, playing it off their center collision glass right into the path of another Tacoma Stars player, getting a foul in a very promising position.
Pereira, Caceres, Cox takes a strike. Gomez with a great save and a sliding clearance from Quentin Swift. That was impressive. Ramos turned. He had no pressure on him. He felt that was a bit strange. It's unlike Mike Ramos to not be pressured, and he plays back for Caceres in that moment. Martinez dribbles all the way back for Gomez. Correa goes sky high, wins a header. I like to think Adrian Correa, pound for pound, one of the best players in MASL. I mean, I don't want to put a number on his height. We don't have one listed for him on the roster, but 5'6" may be generous for Adrian Correa, and he goes up with the best of them. Here's Stinson. Left foot, Toth blocks his near post well. Ramos tried to play that back with his thigh, but it ends up bouncing off his shin. Toth clears with the foot just to be sure.
Adrian, if we want to be generous, say 5'6", he plays like he's 6'5".
Absolutely.
He's a different type of human being.
Handball called. Left arm came out, sort of like a chicken wing there, settled it. Easy call for the referee. I think every fan in the building was able to see that one.
He definitely didn't try to hide it, hitting his arm, that is for sure. He wanted to be like a center fielder for the Seattle Mariners and just catch it on the arm.
Souza needs a clean touch, keeps this one out of the bench area. Not good enough. It's out of play, takes us into the media timeout. 6:29 to play here in the first half. Empire is leading 3-2. We'll step aside, take a break. You're watching Major Arena Soccer League on MASL TV.
Daytech is an IT enterprise infrastructure provider covering networking, security, and more. Email us at sales@daytechinc.net to learn more about Daytech.
The Tacoma Stars are back and they're ready to turn things up a notch. Don't miss out on your chance to see the Stars in action live this season at the accesso ShoWare Center. Experience the fast-paced action of Tacoma Stars soccer for yourself. Head to www.tacomastars.com or call 253-856-6999 to get your tickets to an upcoming game today.
Welcome back into the accesso ShoWare Center in Kent, Washington. I'm Peyton Behrens, alongside me, JJ Schmeck. It is the Empire Strykers 3, the Tacoma Stars 2. I'd like to bring up a correction that was sent to us from the Empire staff. We mentioned that Orozco has 1 game winner. It is actually 2 game winners on the season. He needs the credit where credit is due. So thanks to Gunnar Burnt, who was able to send that over to us. 2 game winners for the goalkeeper out of his 3 goals. I mean, he scores when it matters. We got a 1-goal contest happening here. Orozco might have to find himself in game winner territory yet again later on. I'd love to see that man in orange right there, Chris Toth, be able to take some strikes on goal before the end of the night.
Yeah, like I said earlier, Chris Toth going forward. We've seen it. Maybe not scoring the game winners like Orozco has this year, but he's very good with his feet. And who knows what the fourth quarter is going to bring for us.
Tacoma right now, 2 goals. Tyler John has 1 of them, Kai Briscoe the other. Alami, Palmer, and Espinoza are the goal scorers for the Empire Strykers tonight. Long ball played forward, Hansen, he's got an assist. He set up the Robert Palmer goal. Reyes plays to the bottom of your screen. Gomez, he goes long. Full-time volley taken down. Here's Jones, traps with a thigh. He then gets upfield. Rivers brings it back for Hansen. Jones, is he gonna stay forward as the target? No, he heads for the bench. Yahir Romero slides onto the field. Briscoe dribbling forward.
Smart play there out of Briscoe. He could have gone hit it off the low side boards and into Nick. Nick just wasn't quite in position there. Decided to keep it, recycle it.
Danger lurking ahead. Fabian, he's in on Toth. Fabian! Toth stands him up. Time froze for just a moment. Chris Toth comes out, and he is able to one-up the world-class Marco Fabian and deny him of his 41st point on the season.
2 of the league's best going one-on-one right there.
You love to see it. This is Stinson just outside of that yellow attacking line. He plays back for Perez. Good interplay, Aguirre. Diagonal, Lopez thighs it away with a block. Here's Perez again. Stinson into the middle. Fabian plays back.
Number 10 on number 10 right there on the wing.
Gomez, he wants a little shift with Stinson. So Stinson and him rotate. Gomez gets all the way upfield. He is now pushing the attacking yellow line in behind Pereira. He's playing as a target forward, seemingly, in that bottom right corner, just off your screen. Stinson and Aguirre go back and forth. They have no hesitations at all, just playing a game of keep away by themselves. Toth reads that funneling off the boards well. Lopez, he defended it and shielded it well. Here's Briscoe, has Aguirre, gets past him. Ramos is crashing back post. Gomez with a one-handed swipe. Lopez, top of the arc. Heavy strike just too high. Pereira, bouncing ball back post.
They're on the long boards. It's good. Keep it from the Stars. Get your change when you're on offense. See what we can do here. Get some fresh legs on.
Ramos, bodied by Swift. Battle in the corner. Ramos and Aguirre. Pereira, he had Lopez running in. Correa needs to backtrack. Excellent speed. He is so fleet of foot, Adrian Correa, and then just positions his body so well to get in front of Munir Alami. And this is Israel Cisse who chases all the way down and possesses for the Empire Strykers. Long ball chested back, Stinson. Correa got a foot on it, wins it, but not securely. John goes forward, he's down. This is Jamel Juice Cox. Cox, off the wall, John flying through, nearly had it. John battles, John shoots, it's deflected up. You said he's a thoroughbred, no doubt about that. Tyler John is a man on a mission. Ball is reset by the referee with assistance from Robert Palmer. Clock has not started yet on the countdown. Hansen is in front of the line that he needs to be at. Palmer wanted the referee to start his 5-second count immediately, and yet the Tacoma Stars now got extended time because of Hansen's positioning. Pereira! Gomez just threw a hand up with a prayer and was able to stop that. Lopez works hard, gets the ball back. This is Ramos. Under 2.5 minutes to play in this first half. Stars looking more confident, keeping more possession, maybe dictating a little more of the tempo of the game as this second half continues, or excuse me, the first half continues to tick on.
Yeah, the past couple minutes, it looks like we've been breaking them down. We've been wearing them out. We've been, in a sense, stretching them. And to go back to the Tyler John thoroughbred, he was down and seemingly out, and next thing you know, he's in the box sliding to make us, trying to score.
Incredible player to watch. Even when he doesn't have the ball on his feet, he is still doing great things. Correa patiently waits. Romero's going to come onto the field.
Personally, I'd like to see Nick a little bit higher up the field and not Chase Hansen as a target and Nick receiving that ball, but I understand you got to move and you got to cycle, and it's pulling people off of the boards, and you always have the high guy check into the middle and just try to create the little bit of space.
Romero not going to get that call. Caceres does just well enough. If that ball got through Alex Caceres, it's trouble. Caceres nearly had a strike to finish. Romero, great pressure, contact. He's going to get called on that pull down.
Little unlucky on the foul call, but great feet out of Andy Reyes there, just to put it through his legs.
Lopez heads for Ramos, tries to wait for this one to come down. Lopez wants to strike. He finds the corner board, tries to redirect towards the center, looking for a Wallace Scora. Here's Rivers. Rivers with a late kick, called on the foul. 32.9 seconds remain in this first half. Long ball, Toth wins the header. He puts it back in the mixer. This is Rivers. Correa gets played around on the wall. This is Espinoza. Fabian. Toth with a great read and a great catch. 10 seconds on the clock. He might just try and heave this and get this clock to die down. Rivers, header over to Correa. He takes a strike, it's deflected. The Tacoma Stars, who are pressuring late in that half, didn't have the juice to get there. But right now, they find themselves trailing just one. So far, so good. The Tacoma Stars looked a little better in that second quarter as opposed to the first, and they trailed the Empire Strykers. We'll step aside, take a break. Stay tuned. Halftime show coming up in just a few minutes right here from the Accesso ShoWare Center in Kent, Washington. It's the Empire Strykers 3, Tacoma Stars 2 on MASL TV.
Daytech is an IT enterprise infrastructure provider covering networking, security, and more. Email us at sales@daytechinc.net to learn more about Daytech.
The Tacoma Stars are back and they're ready to turn things up a notch. Don't miss out on your chance to see the Stars in action live this season at the Accesso ShoWare Center. Experience the fast-paced action of Tacoma Stars soccer for yourself. Head to www.tacomasstars.com or call 253-856-6999 to get your tickets to an upcoming game today.
MASL in 5, back once again. What's going on, folks? I'm Alex Bastivansky. It is great to see you again. We got lots to get you caught up on from stuff that's gone down over the past few days. And we've got to preview what's coming up this weekend in just 5 minutes. So let's go.
I think it was just a bench warning, Tom. It looked like on Coach Stokic.
Tayo turning, shot the goal! All hail the king. He's got his first as a member of the Wave.
Frank Tayo made his debut with the Milwaukee Wave last weekend, and I'd say he made a pretty good impression, to put it mildly. The league's all-time points leader was unstoppable, racking up 4 goals, plus a helper as Milwaukee smoked Kansas City 13-3. Now, we wondered what the chemistry between him and Ian Bennett would be like. Frighteningly good, as it turns out. Beautiful assist by Bennett to Frank right there. They will be a terrifying duo. And it was a milestone day for IB26 as well. The MASL legend had 2 points, taking him over the 500 mark for his career. Congratulations to the Canadian assassin. The Wave snapped KC's 8-game winning streak in the process. Let's check in on the playoff race. St. Louis is suddenly surging. They face Dallas, a team they're fighting for 8th spot, and absolutely teed off on them, winning 9-2. That marks the biggest margin of victory for St. Louis so far this season. They also faced Utica City, and once again, the ambush was flexing its offensive muscle. It was Star Wars night in St. Louis, and the force was definitely with them.
Everything else is going to change.
Oh,
Frank.
Chili on a take. Chili Willie!
They racked up 9 goals in this contest as well, holding off UCFC 9-8. And the team they are chasing for 8th spot missed a golden opportunity to pad its lead. Tacoma was hosting San Diego and just couldn't quite pull it off, losing to the Sockers 8-5. So they sat in 8th spot, but the ambush entered this weekend with a game in hand, so they've got time to make up that difference. There are lots of great games happening this weekend. 2 huge ones include the top 3 teams in the league. Both involve KC. The Comets traveled to Chihuahua on Friday to face the first-place Savage, who they beat 5-2 back on January 25th. 2 days later, they'll be back at home against second-place San Diego. They've had 2 great games this season, those squads, with each team winning 1. Okay, your Green Drop Players of the Week: Boris Pardo in goal from San Diego, Omar Silla from Baltimore defensively, and offensively it is, yes, the King, Frank Tayo. Let's start with King Frank making his Milwaukee debut. Couldn't have gone much better. Absolutely dominant. 5 points in that massive win over the KC Comets. Defensively, Omar Silla, what a game he had against Harrisburg. Great on defense and offensively as well. 4 points, 3 goals, 1 assist in the big Baltimore win. And in goal, Boris Pardo doing what Boris Pardo does. Big saves, and he also chipped in with 2 assists in the win over Tacoma. Okay, plays of the week now.
No 6th attacker jersey has been deployed yet onto the...
Oh, from Gamboa! Oh, Noah. To Reggett far post, shot, goal! It's Danny!
Lovegrove lines up the shot. Chavez now can dribble clear. 2v1 despite the numbers deficit. Here's Chavez into the attacking zone. Chavez goes on, rolls it across. Macias!
Seconds, get back Alvis, fakes the shot. Marujo slips a bit. Dantas!
Checo. Diegas.
Oh, my!
Oh, what a blast from Diegas!
Ruggles from distance plays himself. Wallace Scora. Look at Drew Ruggles go. Christo tries to read it, comes off his line. Ruggles called his own number.
He's a great salesman sometimes.
A performance.
Almeida Dalu! I doff my cap to you, good sir.
Hero now in his 11th season, the only coach in the MASL. Ian coming down, shot on goal! Oh, what a combination there from Ricardo to Ian. Wave leads 3-0. Point number 500 in Ian Bennett's career.
And that is going to wrap things up for today's show. But just a reminder that all throughout the MASL season, to stay up to date with everything that's going on in the league, be sure to check out their official social media outlets. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Nero Lavi, during halftime interview, and he is fasting. It's going to be really interesting to see that. Marco Fabian, barely a minute and a half into the game, fires one well outside of the yellow line. Marco Fabian right in the back of the net.
On the left foot, Briscoe flying header into a backflip, Ty Briscoe. This kid is electric.
Second goal of the season for Briscoe. Oh my goodness, was that fun to see.
Pardo has no clue what he just saw. Take another look at this.
To the one of the far forwards. Reagan far post shot, goal! Kansas City Comets account. Welcome to the Comets, Danny.
Sidekicks need to have some urgency here as Lovegrove lines up the shot. Chavez now can dribble clear. 2v1 despite the numbers deficit. Here's Chavez into the attacking zone. Chavez goes on, rolls it across. Macias! The Outlaws scored 3 on 6. As shorty as you get.
Daytech is an IT enterprise infrastructure provider covering networking, security, and more. Email us at sales@daytechinc.net to learn more about Daytech.
The Tacoma Stars are back and they're ready to turn things up a notch. Don't miss out on your chance to see the Stars in action live this season at the Accesso ShoWare Center. Experience the fast-paced action of Tacoma Stars soccer for yourself. Head to www.tacomastars.com or call 253-856-6999 to get your tickets to an upcoming game today.
always optimistic, open and
Welcome
never
back
shut.
into the
The end
accesso
is
ShoWare Center
necessary because
in
I'm
Kent,
never
Washington.
giving up.
I'm Peyton Behrens alongside me, JJ Schmeck. The Tacoma Stars right now trail the Empire Strikers 3-2. It's been a close one, and we thought Empire maybe got some footing. They had a 2-goal lead. Tacoma fought back. It's been a pretty back-and-forth game, though, ever since that. Tacoma got some momentum there in that second quarter. JJ, what was your favorite highlight, maybe your favorite moment, or favorite player that you've seen on the Tacoma side of things in that first half?
Favorite moment has to be the Kai Briscoe goal, because always seeing him do a backflip after he scores, it's one of those things. It's like the Danny Waltman wall flip. When he first came to Tacoma, Danny'd run up the boards, do the backflip. Same thing with Kai.
Looking at the Empire Strikers side of things, I think that both quarters were definitely changed by the goalkeeper. When you had Gomez in the second quarter compared to Orozco in the first quarter, Orozco was way more dictative on the ball. He was keeping possession for the Empire Strikers much better. Gomez came in, he was peppered with a little bit more shots, had to make more saves than Orozco. Do you think third quarter we're going to see Orozco or we're going to see Gomez?
I think we'll see Orozco. Yeah, like you said, when Gomez comes in, they try to change their style of play. The ball is trying to go isolated more to Justin Stinson. When it goes back to Orozco, it's allowing him to try to dictate it and get the ball higher up the field.
Looking at these two sides, I mean, both sides are fighting for strong footing in the Ron Newman Cup playoffs. Tacoma probably needs the win more than anything. They got St. Louis on their tail. St. Louis dropped a win tonight. They dropped a game. Lost tonight 6-3, so they don't have the leap in the standings over the Tacoma Stars. Tacoma needs to make sure that they make the most of it. Get a win here tonight on the road. JJ, what's the key in the second half for Tacoma to try and find 3 points, try and find a win? They're trailing a goal now. What's going to be the big difference maker?
I think just keeping the ball and making the game our style of indoor soccer, as opposed to letting them try to dictate it, get their sixth attacker on, and I feel like that's where we had success. When we catch them on the counter, then they're kind of, in a sense, scrambling to get the ball back, where if we can keep it, knock it around, we're going to find success.
There's been a lot of minutes in the first half with the Fast Five. We're talking the Adrian Correa, the Logan Jones, Kai Briscoe, you name it. Haven't seen a ton of Nick Pereira in the game. How do the Tacoma Stars incorporate more Nick Pereira in the offense and try and get that sort of circle the wagons around Nick?
I'd like to see how Ontario has their Hansen. I'd like to see Nick do that. I'd like to see Nick be a little bit higher, be a little bit more of that big body that he is. Because when I played against him, I'm not getting around him. So if we can have him stay in the middle, keep the ball at his feet, get the runners off, we'll be good.
Second half action is just around the corner. The Tacoma Stars are trailing 3-2 against the Empire Strikers. Right now, it is Tacoma who really needs to answer the call. Empire, they are in control right now. It's going to be an interesting next 30 minutes between these two sides. Exciting stuff ahead. Chris Toth has to keep up his pace of play. You gotta have electric Chris Toth in the net. What's the biggest key when it comes to Chris Toth's game? How is he going to be the most successful for the next 30 minutes?
Kind of take it Chris Toth and use him like the two goalkeepers from Ontario. And just have him step up a little bit more. He's just as good with his feet as he is his hands. Get him a little bit more into the attack.
Nick Pereira on the field, Mike Ramos, Chase Hansen, Kai Briscoe, and Alex Caceres. Those are your 5 on the field for the Tacoma Stars. JJ, I got to issue the correction. Ontario has been out for a few years. It is Empire Strikers. And, you know, when the team comes into your building and they're winning 3-2, got to put some respect on the name. The Empire Strikers, they come in wearing those all-white kits. Goalkeeper's wearing the purple. And right now, they're holding on to a 3-2 lead. And they've been such a good team this year with this new style. Year in, year out previously, we've seen Empire and formerly Ontario be a team where you expect to go out and get 3 points. Now you have no clue what to expect anytime you face off against the Empire Strikers. Briscoe loses possession as he tries to play backwards. Here's a good breakout run. It's with Somo. Thought it was Israel Cisse at first. 23-24 are the numbers on the back of their jerseys.
My apologies to the Empire Striker fans.
I don't think anyone's going to hold it over your head. I just wanted to make sure the record was straight. And for the record, Harold Hansen is breaking this game wide open. Found some space in the middle. Harold Hansen makes the Tacoma Stars pay.
And that's 2 goals tonight within the first 30 seconds of the start of a quarter. I feel like great job from Ontario coming out of the half, coming out of the end of a quarter, and scoring right off the bat, especially with the ball cut back there. Easy tap in from your big striker from Harold.
Lopez on the restart. Harold Hansen with Empire Strykers' 4th of the night. Hansen, he set up the Palmer goal earlier. He had the header, the assist that played that ball back. So he has been a menace for the Tacoma Stars defense. Like you mentioned, the second time that the Tacoma Stars have given up a early opening quarter goal. The Espinoza goal came at the 14:47 mark. Lopez turns his defender. Couldn't find John. So at the 14:47 mark, Empire was able to net a goal in the second quarter, and then at the 14:27 mark of the third quarter, they were able to find their 4th of the game.
Yeah, and I feel like that's one thing we try to preach here is you just try not to give up a goal in the first minute, just defend and stick to your bases and your roots.
Ball plays up the boards, nobody home except for Logan Jones. He settles against the wall, patient as ever. Jones settles. Tries to go diagonal for Correa. Trouble brewing for the Stars. Toth has to come out. Cuts it back slyly. Cheeky play, Chris Toth. Get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams by following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram and MASL Arena on Twitter. Aguirre, he goes to a knee. Toth with a toe poke. It's still in danger. It's off of Correa's chest. Chris Toth with a slight touch for Jamel Cox, and the Stars are back under pressure.
Little hectic there, but deal with it just fine. Stepped up.
Good run through the middle. It was Alami. Settled off the crossbar. Romero now plays for Pereira. Romero gets released on the run. Wearing the number 80, Romero looking for his first as a Star. It's poked just wide. Hansen couldn't win the header.
A little fun fact for you here, Peyton. I have a number 19 DeBray Holloman Ontario jersey hanging up in my closet right now at home.
That is one heck of a jersey. DB Holloman is one of my favorite players that I've watched in a Stars jersey. I mean, you know, I'm biased. I love Logan Jones to death. But DeBray Holloman, he's so fun to watch. And the athleticism, the size, everything from DeBray was great. Here's a quick attack from the Strykers. Cisse, top of your screen, little step over. Souza comes over and try and double down. Swift wants to play all the way back.
And a congratulations to DeBray and his fiancée Sarah, birth of their first child together. And do I see Cisse with a new haircut?
Perhaps it is. Israel Cisse. Long diagonal ball. Orozco couldn't find anybody. The Stars back under possession. So Orozco playing the third quarter. Gomez will likely get the 4th, and if this game sees overtime, you'll see Orozco again. Fabian. Hansen up the boards, waits for this guy. Tries to let Chris Toth come out for it. Toth handles. Subscribe today to MASL TV on YouTube. You'll find game rebroadcasts, MASL shows, highlights, and more. Briscoe with a great touch. He gets past Swift. It's good help defense from Somo. Turnover. Caceres. Caceres left foot. It's a great save, Orozco. Ball bounces up and over the boards. It's going to be Tacoma's ball just in front of that glass. Caceres wants a quick restart. Finds Pereira in the middle. Pereira at the yellow line pulls it back. This is Lopez and now Caceres.
And what a strike out of Alex there. It'd have the top spin. Goalkeeper doesn't get fingertips on that. We're in the top corner.
That's an instant blue card. Quentin Swift came through. It wasn't the first leg on the challenge, rather the trail leg that gets every last piece of Alex Caceres. It's late, and it's that secondary leg. It's going to be a blue card every time. Take another look.
I'd say Swift is a little unlucky there because he is trying to cut the passing lane out there and trying to block the ball. Momentum took it into Alex. And just in indoor soccer, when you slide like that, things like that will happen.
MASLsoccer.com is your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League, all the latest news, leaderboards, highlights, and more. JJ, we were talking pregame about the Tacoma Stars on the power play, and especially at home. Not great so far this season. They are under 30% as a success rate as a team when they are on the power play. That's not what you want to see. That's not what you want to hear when you're trying to make a push for the Ron Newman Cup playoffs. But the Stars are playing up a man for the next 2 minutes. Here's Ramos through the middle. Cisse plays back. Back for Toth. High pressure.
The power play is a juggling act, right? You want your best 5 on the field. And when I say best 5, your best 5 goal scorers, the people that'll shoot and put it on target, but you're also looking for your best passers. And like right now, we have Jamel at the point. That's just in case things hit the fan and we need somebody to sprint back. He's the fastest player on the field.
Pereira, top of your screen, back to the wall. He goes for Cox. Ramos, a little bit of space, plays into the center. Romero, amazing save from Orozco. You hear Romero, the former Dallas sidekick, is getting stonewalled every opportunity that he has.
And that's the movement you want there. You have a guy checking in. You have the underneath run. Shot on target. Just great save from Ontario.
Romero, 17 games played so far this season. This is his first with the Tacoma Stars. Ready to restart. He stands over the ball. Pereira lays it back for Cox. 50 seconds remain in this power play. This is Pereira. Cox takes a strike. It's well wide. Ramos tries to run onto it. Toth comes out for this ball. Romero, 14 points on the season. It's only his second MASL season. Last year, his rookie year with the Sidekicks. Caceres with a strike. He goes upper bins. The marksman is back at it again. Alex Caceres. It's well placed. The Stars get it done on the power play. They make this game 1 goal closer. And it's Alex Caceres getting the job done, the man with the armband. Take a look.
The Nick Pereira ball roll, and you get it to a guy on the right side with the left foot. He can put it across the body. You're making defenders. You're making the goalkeeper shift. If you can put a ball across that, you're looking at a great percentage of scoring there, especially when you have a guy like Mike Ramos at the back post that's going to crash. But what a finish.
4-3. We are back to even strength. Caceres has the goal. Pereira has his second assist on the night. We talked a little bit about Pereira at halftime and his ability and how he's going to impact the game. Right there on the power play, your leaders step up. Correa runs out for this. Orozco goes sliding. Toth takes a touch. Empty net. Toth, heavy volley. John crashes onto it as it's just wide. Thought Chris Toth was going to be off and celebrating. John with a strike. Orozco a better save. Correa, John poked away. Orozco with an amazing timing. He pounces out just well enough, gets on top of that ball.
What a 30-second exchange there. You have keeper-on-keeper action. You got Chris Toth trying to score on the other end of the field after he picked the ball off of the keeper from Empire.
You never know what this game has to offer. And I mean, we always talk no lead is safe in MASL, but the Tacoma Stars have been really in control of the game for most of the last, I would say, 25 minutes of gameplay. Here's Souza. He gets pushed in the back. No call. He goes Caceres off the boards.
Right now, the game's feeling a little bit cagey, and I feel like it's suiting the Tacoma Stars here.
Empire finished the half with 10 shots on goal. They're now at 12, so 2 shots so far this half. Tacoma, on the other hand, they're already up to 22 shots on the game on goal. This is Pereira in the area. Pereira with some space. Pereira a shot. Ramos the follow-up. It's still bouncing around. Friendly fire. It's in. Ramos is going to get credited. Orozco tried to clear out. It bounces off of his defender, and the game is 4-4. Unlucky for the Empire Strykers. Tacoma Stars are feeling fortunate.
And it's very unlucky from Orozco there. He makes a great save, but again, it comes from that Nick Pereira ball roll. Rolling it to the inside, rolling it to the inside. Gets a shot, great save. Unlucky from Orozco that it falls to Mike Ramos.
Timeout on the field. We'll step aside and take a break. Don't go anywhere. Third quarter action right around the corner. It's MASL TV.
Daytech is an IT enterprise infrastructure provider covering networking, security, and more. Email us at sales@daytechinc.net to learn more about Daytech.
The Tacoma Stars are back and they're ready to turn things up a notch. Don't miss out on your chance to see the Stars in action live this season at the accesso ShoWare Center. Experience the fast-paced action of Tacoma Stars soccer for yourself. Head to www.tacomastars.com or call 253-856-6999 to get your tickets to an upcoming game today.
It's never too early to start talking playoffs. Join 8 of our teams in sunny San Diego as they square off in the MASL Ron Newman Cup playoffs April 5th through 7th. Ticket deposits are now being accepted. Visit frontwavearena.com for more information or scan the QR code on your screen and you will see perhaps the Tacoma Stars and the Empire Strikers down in San Diego for the Ron Newman Cup playoffs. Peyton Barons, JJ Schmeck, Tacoma Stars finally draw level 4-4. They've been chasing it all game long. Finally, they found a level point in the game. It's been chasing 2 goals the entire time so far. It was a 2-0 start in the first quarter. Tacoma was just lucky enough to score with 18 seconds left in the first quarter. But since that 18-second mark, Tacoma has been the more dominant side. A slip-up at the start of that second quarter, 15 seconds into it. A slip-up 30 seconds into the third quarter. Only those 2 hiccups are what separates them and the Empire Strikers.
Yeah, just keep doing what we've been doing the rest of the night, and I can see this game turning around. I mean, now we've kind of built the house. It's not allowed in them to do their 6th attacker, especially with Orozco being down as deep as he is.
Jones goes sky high. He wins a header. Toth gets crushed in his own area. No intention, absolutely no intention from Espinoza. He's trying to make that clear, but Toth incredibly frustrated. Here it is again. Espinoza slips on the turf, rolls right into Chris Toth. Toth just frustrated, I think, that the contact happened in the first place. Maybe they didn't take a look up at the replay board to see how actually incidental it was.
Yeah, as you can see there, Espinoza, his forehead's to the ground. He can't see what's going on. He's just stumbling.
Souza gets pushed into the glass. He might want to check on his teeth. Cisse called on the foul. Pereira over the free kick, just off the wall. Caceres, Cox, Ramos, and Lopez join him. Pereira, strangely enough, misconnects. The simple square pass, that's very unlike Nick Pereira to miss. And then Toth with a missed pass of his own. He comes out, cleans it up himself with a sliding pass off the windows.
And thank goodness for the windows, or they'd be looking at the top of the box restart.
Dangerous 2-on-2. Strike just wide. It was Quentin Swift. Orozco trots upfield. Stinson plays back. John, the high press. Ramos, he looks up. Open net, chip shot. Lopez with a strike, and it's just too high. All he had to do was keep it on frame. There's no goalkeeper near. The Tacoma Stars miss out on an incredible opportunity.
And it's unfortunate from Lopez there. He tries to hit through it, avoid the defenders, but it's like we talked about earlier. You catch him in a counter there, and the goalkeeper's at midfield. You have a great chance of scoring.
Hansen's beat. Ball off the wall. Jones puts it off the window. Toth catches. Little deflection. Jones had to close down on Fabian. Pereira, first time pass, intercepted. He puts a hand up in apology. He understands that wasn't the best ball that he could have played and perhaps had the Stars in danger.
And it's an uncharacteristic pass from Nick there. That's something that he does very good, is pass the ball.
Off the wall, Briscoe header. Perez saw Toth coming out, played the ball around him. Pereira can't go up the boards past Fabian. He opts for the chip shot, so does Romero. They both go airborne with it. Nick tried to dribble out of pressure. Palmer slows it down. Good strike. Toth had it covered. Fabian past Jones and brings it back. Right foot strike, it's well too high and up into the safety netting above the plexiglass.
When you have 40 points on the year like Fabian, every now and again you just take a shot and you hope that it goes in or it hits off the boards and it falls to your guy in the box.
And a player of his ability, I mean, Logan Jones was very tight marked onto him, but any amount of space is too much space for Marco Fabian. Pereira capitalizes on the mistake. The Stars take a lead. Nick Pereira, have yourself a night.
And that right there is what happens when you take a chance. The Empire Strykers made an error against the number 10 of the Tacoma Stars, Nick Pereira. And when you give a guy like that with over, how many points does he have on the year?
He's 25 points on the year now.
With 200 and now 37 career goals, something like that's going to happen.
Header down, Toth catches it. The Stars have their first lead of the night. Toth releases. John with an opportunity. Just wide. Rivers has to chase it down. Correa under possession. It was Cisse trying to play that ball back, and Pereira just read it to perfection. John has Jones in support. John's pushed down to his knees, no call. Three minutes to play in the third quarter. The Stars have their first lead of the night.
And you wonder if there, on the last encounter when the Stars had possession.
Perez with a shot off the near boards. It shoots out to the yellow line. Cut into the middle, settled back for Orozco. Excuse me, JJ.
Understandable. When Chris throws that long, is that something that was talked about at the halftime? Because Tyler was off on the run. The ball's right in his path. A little bit unfortunate to miss a foot wide on the left-hand side of the goal.
Well, you'll notice that Orozco will always position himself on the right wing of the field. Here's an inward ball for Perez. Toth has to come out. Stars are in scramble mode. Toth, another save. It's finished. Tie game again. Alan Perez finishes on the volley. 2:17 to play in the third quarter. The Strykers capitalize on some chaos with the Stars defense.
It's kind of been happening all evening. The Strykers always have a couple guys in the box just in case, like the Mighty Ducks always say, you clean up in front of the net. And right now, the Empire Strykers are cleaning up in front of the opposing team's net and scoring goals.
5-5 as it stands. What I was going to mention earlier about Roscoe's positioning, he puts himself on the right wing of the field. When Chris Toth makes that catch, you'll notice Tyler John, or whichever forward, will float to the opposite side. So what is then the defensive left wing for the Empire Strykers? It puts the ball as far away from a Roscoe as it can be. It finds them with some open space. They try and get a shot off, and that's what we saw Tyler John get in positioning there. I'm sure that we're going to see more of it. Somo plays a deflected ball. Hansen plays a little man-to-man coverage in front of Chris Toth. Hansen. Pereira through his legs. Palmer plays back. Cox chases it down. Cisse just past him. .90 seconds till the third quarter comes to an end. 5-5 apiece. Seeing the Tacoma Stars right now, 26 shots on goal. They got 5 goals to show for it. Previously, when they played against San Diego, they really had 40 shots in the game. They put up a ton of shots on San Diego. They were only able to net 5 goals. So a much better conversion rate for the Tacoma Stars tonight. Hansen, bodied by Hansen. Harold Hansen called for the foul. Chase Hansen went flying into the glass.
And what I've started to notice is when Orozco is on the field, Justin Stinson doesn't cycle as much. Whereas when Gomez is on the field, Stinson is cycling more. The ball is going to him more.
John puts a foot on the ball. He's low. Left foot strike. Great save, Orozco. John pushes Palmer to the ground. And a foul called. Under a minute to play. Palmer goes long. Lopez has nobody around him. Couldn't connect with Cox. Trouble brewing. Stinson, top of the arc. Toth, first save, yes. Second time, yes. He's still battling. Toth, maybe a save of the week. That ball bounces around the boards off a couple of bodies. Chris Toth does just enough.
Can you give Chris 3 saves for 1 there?
I think you can. Call it a Wendy's 4 for 4. I don't care. Chris Toth got the job done. Lopez, he's got space forward, but he's only got 12 seconds. Lopez, cross court for John. Misconnect as it was behind. Tyler John goes flying into the glass. Challenge flag is thrown. The Stars want this to go to video review. They want a blue card to be shown for boarding, and I think video review has a case, has an argument to see a potential blue card here. We will go to the booth. Your referees tonight, the crew chief, Kyle Trimble. Referee Arturo Ibira, assistant referee John Snyder, fourth official is Aiden Velasco, and in the penalty box is Mason Hull.
That one there's another one where if I play for Tacoma, I want the blue. If I'm on Ontario, I don't want the blue. It looked like a bang-bang play. Palmer could have came in a little bit hot and heavy. I guess we'll see here in a minute or two.
You wouldn't say you have a bias there, JJ, right?
I was known to get fouled enough for the other team to go a man down.
So when I'm watching these replays, one thing I don't like to see is the slow motion replay of it, because I think that takes away moment of impact, actual velocity of the challenge, maybe the final part of the tackle. Let's hear what the call is.
The decision on the field stands. No blue card.
No blue card, so the Tacoma Stars lose their challenge for the rest of the game. If you go 0 for 1, you don't get it back. The Stars, they will not have a challenge now for the entirety of the fourth quarter. Empire is still holding on to theirs. 7 seconds left. Tacoma will have a free kick against the boards. If there's any team in the league who's going to score in this situation, it's going to be Tacoma. They have Nick Pereira on the field after all, and that man is just as dangerous when he's got the whiteboard and a pen in his hand as when he is on the field with the ball at his feet. See what the Stars draw up. Caceres for Romero. Romero has space. His shot. Stars had a great look, and they missed out to capitalize on the free kick.
Back to that point, yeah, I don't like when they slow it down either. It always makes it look way worse than it probably was. I'm not the biggest fan of VAR as well, so I could be a little bit biased there. I like goal line technology.
I think video review has done extremely well when it comes to MASL because what it takes into consideration is that the call has to 100% be overturnable. You gotta have clear and concise evidence to do so. There's no time duration. The thing that matters most when it comes to video review and MASL is just getting the call right on the field. I appreciate the referees that go into it each week with that mindset, and that's really making a big difference. I like the addition of the video review and the challenge when it comes to the MASL game. With that, we sit 5-5 at the end of the third quarter. As always, the mini ball toss takes place here at the Accesso ShoWare Center, where we drive our luxurious Mercedes-Benz onto the field, and fans try and lob that ball into the sunroof. We'll step aside and let the chaos of the mini ball toss ensue. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the MASL on MASL TV.
Daytech is an IT enterprise infrastructure provider covering networking, security, and more. Email us at sales@daytechinc.net to learn more about Daytech.
The Tacoma Stars are back and they're ready to turn things up a notch. Don't miss out on your chance to see the Stars in action live this season at the accesso ShoWare Center. Experience the fast-paced action of Tacoma Stars soccer for yourself. Head to www.tacomasstars.com or call 253-856-6999 to get your tickets to an upcoming game today.
Welcome back into the Accesso ShoWare Center in Kent, Washington. Fans, make sure you get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams by following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram and MASL Arena on Twitter. I'd like to use right now to go through some of the other scores around the league to keep us all updated. Perhaps you're joining us following the conclusion of one of those games. As mentioned earlier, the San Diego Sockers topped the St. Louis Ambush 6-3. It was the Chihuahua Savage who beat the Kansas City Comets 9-4. And right now, your Tacoma Stars are tied 5-5 with the Empire Strykers. Those are your Friday night scores around MASL. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Peyton Behrens, JJ Schmeck, the former Tacoma Star, in the booth for us tonight. JJ, it's your debut in the booth. How you feeling on night one?
It's like I told you before. I'd be a heck of a lot more comfortable if I was playing in front of the fans as opposed to talking to the fans.
Hey, well, we are happy and delighted to have you in the booth. It's always great to have former players. It gets a different perspective. I've been in your seat as a color commentator before, and there's such a more unique perspective when it comes to somebody who's actually been between the boards as opposed to somebody who has been viewing. So we are thankful to have the former players in the booth. I believe you are our third former player in the booth so far this season. Been graced with the presence of Derek Johnson, Danny Minetti, and JJ Schmeck. So I've been in good company all season long. Thank you so much for being here.
When I started my indoor career, it was with the South Sound Shock. I played with Derek Johnson, and I played with Danny Minetti.
Some legends of the indoor game. Danny Minetti still with those Tacoma Stars reserves. He was with me last week. The Tacoma Stars reserves played in the Whistle final just before the Tacoma Stars games. Quick press, quick attack. Thought Empire might find another goal in the opening 20 seconds of a quarter, excuse me. Danny Minetti and those Tacoma Stars reserves won their 4th consecutive WISL title here at the ShoWare Center just last weekend. And then after his 60 minutes on the field, he came up and joined me for 60 more minutes in the booth. Always a grinder, Danny Minetti.
He is. Danny Minetti is a different type of human being. I will never forget Washington Premier under 23s. We're doing an inter-squad scrimmage. And believe
Hansen
it or
tried to go long for goal, got nothing around it, and that ball ended up in row 3. Sorry, JJ, continue.
Believe it or not, I broke Danny Minetti's leg in practice. I was trying to play a long ball. He stepped in front. I've never seen somebody recover from a broken leg so fast. He was back in like 8 months.
I like how that story turned for a positive. It went from I broke Danny Minetti's leg to I've never seen more of a superhuman being recovering.
No, he is. He was back and he was playing for the next indoor season, and he is that type of guy that always pushes you to be better.
Long ball centered. Ramos chests it down for Toth. He's going to release. Lopez the target. He's streaking down the sideline. Lopez still turning, full volley. Misa Lopez, what an exciting player to watch.
Great strength. You could see the back of his jersey on the front, and he was still able to hold the ball up.
Here's Cox. He's running through the middle of the field. Fabian with a great step-in challenge. Pereira wants to line this one up. He goes for Hansen. Hansen plays himself off the board. It's a great chest save. Hansen again on top of the ball. A heel flick. Cox is just too tall with it. Chase Hansen, where did that offense come from? My goodness.
Is he a defender or a target? Well done out of Chase.
Cox played that ball off the windows. It deflected off Fabian. Ball pinging back and forth. Caceres has to get a win. He doesn't. Ball in danger. This is Espinoza. Advantage played. He switches over for Fabian. I think that there was potentially a handling. Here's a strike from distance. Toth with a great save and a clearance off the wall. No 3-line warning issued. That ball pinged off the windows and settled down.
Great tracking out of Nick there.
Gomez back between the sticks for Empire. Martinez curls a run around Cox. He recovers incredibly well. Palmer sends down for Hansen, but Caceres intercepts. Ball bounces once before a skip and a hop over the boards. 12:07 to play in the 4th quarter. Catch MASL Monday every Monday night on MASL TV, on YouTube and CBS Sports Golazo Network. Alex Bashavansky and Phil Levanko are joined each week by special guests from across the league to recap the weekend's games and discuss all the league's hot topics. JJ, what day of the week do you think MASL Monday airs?
Tuesday.
So close. At a 1 in 7 chance. MASL Mondays. Catch it on MASL TV. Interception in the middle. This is dangerous. It's pocketed home. George De Leon with his 7th goal.
De Leon's a finisher. He's been in the league for quite a few years. You give him a chance like that, he's going to tuck it away.
Quick interception. De Leon leaves no doubt about it, just hammers it low. Jorge De Leon makes it 6-5, gives the Strykers another lead. Ramos on the volley. Correa, second time. John tries to go sliding through. That ball's up in the rafters. John's header is wide. I don't know if our camera angle could get up that high, but that ball was up there with the banners that the Seattle Thunderbirds have hung in the rafters here at the ShoWare Center. Lopez, he wants to strike it from distance. He's well off the target.
Lopez isn't afraid to shoot. I wouldn't be surprised if you give him a couple years to understand and see how the indoor game works. I could see him having as many points on the year as Marco Fabian.
Someday, huge, high aspirations. Ready to restart. 11:20 remaining in regulation. Toth can't pick this one up. It's just outside of his area. Long ball looking for John. Header goes all the way back for Gomez. Souza taken off his feet by Marco Fabian.
Just a half step late.
I don't know if you know this, JJ. Marco Fabian, and I'm sure all the Empire fans do know. We'll come back to it. Souza off the boards. Aguirre clears wide. Fabian, it was on a dating show on Peacock, streaming exclusively on Peacock. Go and check that out. It is a fun watch. Ball down into the corner. Toth comes sliding out, and it's an incredible challenge. Here's Pereira on the breakout. I wish I could give you the name of the dating show that Marco Fabian was on. The name of it slipping my mind, but it won't be a hard one to find. Marco Fabian on a dating show. Great TV, great television.
I'm currently stuck on a Gordon Ramsay show. Recently got into cooking, and let me tell you.
I'll tell you what, Empire Strykers are cooking up something tonight. Leading 6-5 right now. Cisse goes through that tackle. Cooking up an offense that's so elusive and so tough to get a read on. 20 shots on goal for the Empire Strykers. Tacoma Stars have 29 on the night. Still just 5 goals to show from it. This is Kai Briscoe. He looks for Pereira. Pereira brings it down. Bouncing ball. Pereira turns on it, and it's going to go deflected over the top for a corner kick.
Me personally, the fact that you see a target, defending a target in your own box, it's just your willingness to win and doing whatever it takes.
Harold Hansen is a do-it-all player. Where's the 45 like Jordan on his second stint with the Bulls? Pereira lobs one for Cox. Not quite the most accurate of passes, but here's Cox. He couldn't get through the middle. Caceres has to be smart. He's defending a 2-on-1. Aguirre with a strike. Toth got a touch to it. Pushed it over. No. Yes, he did. Sorry. My angle was just a bit off. Couldn't tell if Toth actually pushed that ball over or it curved up and around. And we're going to take a timeout on the field. We'll step aside, take a break. 9:25 to play in the fourth quarter. Don't go anywhere. It's the Tacoma Stars, the Empire Strykers on MASL TV.
Daytech is an IT enterprise infrastructure provider covering networking, security, and more. Email us at sales@daytechinc.net to learn more about Daytech.
The Tacoma Stars are back and they're ready to turn things up a notch. Don't miss out on your chance to see the Stars in action live this season at the accesso ShoWare Center. Experience the fast-paced action of Tacoma Stars soccer for yourself. Head to www.tacomastars.com or call 253-856-6999 to get your tickets to an upcoming game today.
Disagree with the call tonight? You might just see it on the MASL's most controversial show, Under Review with Phil Levanco and MASL head referee Ryan Sigich. Catch it every Friday on YouTube. Delay a game warning issued. It's going to be on the Stars for that wall creeping forward. Laid back, shot, strike, goal, Stinson. Off the restart, Strykers make it 7-5. Stinson had all the space in the world, takes a one-touch shot, freezes Chris Toth, and the Strykers have a 2-goal lead yet again.
For Stinson, first goal of the night, 23rd goal of the season.
Correa down the boards, battles with Swift. Whistle, foul called, Tyler John.
Very strong out of Swift there. Going into the boards, like we stated earlier, we may say Adrian's 5'6", he plays 6'5". Having a guy like that hit you into the boards isn't going to feel good, but Swift stayed strong.
Espinoza has himself a goal tonight. Palmer was the man with the assist on the last goal. That's his second assist of the night. Excuse me, his second point of the night. He had a goal coming off the Hansen assist. Gomez, long diagonal. Fabian nearly made the most out of nothing. Toth trying to play around him. Romero now in a double team. He's taken to ground. Aguirre plays inward. This is where Empire gets dangerous. A 2-goal lead, and they can possess the heck out of the clock. Whistle blown. It's going to be a Stars free kick. 8:24 to play in regulation.
Looked like a little hand to the face there. I did notice on that last possession from the Empire, when Gomez is in the net, they try to line 3 guys up on the left side.
Ramos. Souza makes the most out of this and plays back for Caceres. Souza in behind, takes a touchdown, puts one far post. No crashers. Ramos, though, receives it. Caceres steps through. This is trouble. Well done by Caceres to recover.
Great closing speed there. Well done, just to get a heel on it, knock it out of the forward's path. And
Toth under heavy pressure. Calls his own number. He gets fouled in the build-up. Bound to happen when you're high-pressing a goalkeeper like that.
With footwork like that, he had to have played number 10 in college.
Ball pings around the boards. Cox is pressing. I think you can just say that Chris Toth is still a number 10 at heart. No doubt about it. Whether it's here in the indoor game, the beach soccer game, futsal, Chris Toth, he's a wizard when it comes to the ball at his feet, in his hands, anything. Ooh. Pereira wanted a quick restart. He was wide open near the boards, but I think we are at our media timeout, and we are confirmed. Under 8 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Tacoma Stars trail by 2. Don't go anywhere. You're watching MASL TV.
Daytech is an IT enterprise infrastructure provider covering networking, security, and more. Email us at sales@daytechinc.net to learn more about Daytech.
The Tacoma Stars are back and they're ready to turn things up a notch. Don't miss out on your chance to see the Stars in action live this season at the accesso ShoWare Center. Experience the fast-paced action of Tacoma Stars soccer for yourself. Head to www.tacomastars.com or call 253-856-6999 to get your tickets to an upcoming game today.
Welcome back into the accesso ShoWare Center in Kent, Washington. I'm Peyton Behrens with JJ Schmeck. The Tacoma Stars trail the Empire Strykers 7-5. Right now, Empire has got the better hand of the goals when it's come to the fourth quarter. De Leon and Stinson have 2 goals. The Tacoma Stars have been shut out. We came into this quarter 5-5. You wonder how Tacoma is going to try and scrap their way back in. They got to get a goal. At some point, you got to think the 6th attacker is coming on, but I don't think you can concede for the rest of the night. It's got to be perfect defense, JJ, for the next 7 minutes, 10 seconds against one of the best attacking teams in MASL.
Yeah, and you brought up a good point, us going 6th attacker, but we've talked all night about how good Chris is with his feet. We could almost take the Empire Strykers game and try to dictate it on them. Bring Chris a little bit higher and make them defend like they've made us.
Toth starts with the ball in his hands. We get underway. Romero had checked 2. Misa Lopez gets it from Chris Toth, and this is Jones. Stars have to get away from some high pressure. Rivers, if he can get past Palmer. Palmer's on the ground. Rivers, Romero in the middle. He goes far post, and he just misses out. Briscoe gets the ball pushed past him up the boards. He's arguing with the official. Yellow card in the last game for dissent. Briscoe when arguing calls with the official. Here's that look from Rivers again. Hits it with the outside of his foot.
Just a little unlucky. I think the run in, the ball off the boards wouldn't have really worked, but he could have attempted it. I'm fine with the shot on goal.
Palmer goes square. This is Gomez. Back for Robert Palmer. Long ball, Espinoza the target. Hansen reads it well. Briscoe turns. He lets the ball run with him. Rivers in front. Briscoe slows it down. Stars might want to get some changes. Everyone goes for a change. Lopez is just going to hold on to it. Caceres.
Good check there from Nick. Now work yourself a little bit higher. Get yourself on the corner of the goal. Now if he dashes in here.
Correa trying to get past Espinoza. Pereira runs onto it well. Stinson plays in behind everybody. Cox is just too high with it. He hits it off the boards. Correa wears it to the chest, and a header back for Gomez. Outlet pass. Fabion's the target. Toth touches it down. Toth goes forward. Toth still goes. Toth lays it back for Jamel. Toth is in the middle. He gets it back. Chris Toth is just wide. Chris Toth way out of position. Gomez has nobody forward. He waits. Chris Toth is jogging to get himself back to the goal, and he has made it all the way back.
That was the chance there. Get us back into the game. 7-6 with 5 minutes left. Would have been great for the Stars there.
Jones, first time touch, plays forward. Palmer settles in front of the Stars bench. Tyler John comes onto the field for some fresh legs instead of Pereira. Martinez tries to go forward past him. This is Alan Perez.
And it's like you said earlier about going to the 6th attacker. I think it could come into a point to where you put your power play kill squad on the field. You put your defenders on, chase the ball, win the ball, instantly get a change, potentially call a timeout just to get your goal scorers on the field.
Gomez, that first time lobbed ball again. Toth high points it, calls the timeout immediately. 4 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock. We'll step aside, take a break. Don't go anywhere. Tacoma Stars trail the Empire Strykers 7-5 on MASL TV.
Daytech is an IT enterprise infrastructure provider covering networking, security, and more. Email us at sales@daytechinc.net to learn more about Daytech.
The Tacoma Stars are back and they're ready to turn things up a notch. Don't miss out on your chance to see the Stars in action live this season at the Accesso ShoWare Center. Experience the fast-paced action of Tacoma Stars soccer for yourself. Head to www.tacomasstars.com or call 253-856-6999 to get your tickets to an upcoming game today.
Welcome back into the accesso ShoWare Center in Kent, Washington. Peyton Behrens and JJ Schmeck here. Tacoma trails the Empire Strykers 7-5. 4 minutes, 20 seconds remain on the clock. Tacoma's going to have the ball in Chris Toth's hands. Get things started. Caceres, Hansen, Briscoe, Romero, and Pereira are the 5 on the field. At some point, Tacoma's got to look at either Chris Toth getting forward or the 6th attacker getting onto the field. You think Toth might roll this ball out and you might get a 6th attacker on, but you are seeing a full court press from Harold Hansen and Somo.
And I like the throw out there to Briscoe. He's a strong individual. He's going to hold the ball up, allow people to get pushed up the field.
His pass was too strong. Pereira couldn't contain it, but Briscoe got it in the center of the field and then gets fouled. This guy is the Energizer Bunny.
Yeah, you don't make it to an NCAA Division I championship game by not having energy, which he did with the University of Washington. Unfortunately, they lost, but he's a willing runner. He works really hard.
Hansen, Caceres. It's crunch time for the Stars. Correa. Toth is playing as the 6th attacker. Hansen. Correa runs in. Gomez comes out for it. Ramos with a little high-pressure deflection. Not enough for the Stars, but Hansen runs onto this. Correa. Chase Hansen now goes for a change. Misa Lopez comes on. I think that's a better move late in this game, looking for scoring, get Misa Lopez on into the game. Lopez on his right foot. It's blocked by Swift. He read his scouting report.
Yeah, Swift defensively tonight has been outstanding in my personal opinion.
Aside from the blue card, just perfect. It was a reckless challenge that got him a blue card. The Stars scored on the power play. Toth inward for Ramos. Lopez had Correa open in the center, couldn't connect it. Somo chips up. Caceres is trying to contain Espinoza. Here's Somo again. Correa wins it. Correa's got numbers ahead. Caceres, he finishes. The Stars get what they need.
As I said earlier, I wish Adrian would have shot that ball earlier. The pass there was perfect. Well weighted, right on Caceres' strong foot, puts it away.
Here's Correa winning that ball up the boards. One problem. Challenge flag is on the field right now. We're going to video review as it stands. Correa the assist, Caceres the goal. 2:42 to play in regulation. We will see what this video review has to show. We'll keep everything here for the moment.
That one's looking similar to the foul that Palmer had on Romero in the, I think it was the first quarter, where if you're the Empire Strykers, you're really wishing they call it a foul. If you're the Tacoma Stars, you're saying, please let this stand, because now you're back in the game with just under 3 minutes left.
So we'll see if we get any other conclusive angles when it comes to video review on this call. That's Correa up the boards. No real look there if we can tell that there's going to be a foul. Going to take our time with this one, with how critical of a play this is. I mean, we are late in the fourth quarter. If we turn this into a one-goal game, I mean, yes, there's hand fighting there, but it's going both ways. Correa's taking a hand to the neck. Correa's dishing some hands up high into the arm area of Somo. You might argue that Correa is the one getting fouled for a lot of that incident.
No, I completely agree. I mean, they're both fighting, and you could, like you said, they're both fighting for it, and they're both going for it, and it looks like Isak is kind of like, oh, I'm losing this battle, but I'm along the boards. If I make it look like I'm into the boards, it could be a foul. Like I said, it could go either way. Depends on what side of the fence you're on.
I think Correa's positioning will take away any sort of idea of boarding because he is in front of Somo. Let's get the listen in.
After video review, the decision of the field stands. Goal.
It stands. The Tacoma Stars have their 6th of the night. Correa set up Caceres, and now things get spicy. It's MASL After Dark. Welcome in. 7-6. The Stars trail the Strykers by 1.
And it's like I said, about with 5 minutes left to go. So about 2.5 minutes ago, I said to get the ball back, you put on your power play kill squad. Right now, if you look at the players on the field with Adrian and Rivers and Tyler John and Logan and Chase, those are your defenders. They're going after this ball as soon as it gets kicked backwards.
John on the high press. Chases down Palmer. Orozco is back in the net. Gomez is on the bench. Gomez only gave up 1 goal in the 4th quarter, and they go away from him. 2:20. Palmer goes forward. Hansen wanted to just shield that ball back to Toth. Alami all the way back for Palmer. They're going to stretch this thing out. Palmer and Orozco. They'll go back and forth all night long. Orozco now into the center of the field. Usually plays with his back to the wall. Good find. Stinson crashes in. Toth goes low. Stinson still has the ball. This is Perez turning. Somo with a strike off the windows. It's deflected. John can't settle. Perez tries to play it back. 90 seconds on the clock. Stars haven't sniffed the ball in quite some time.
Yeah, the Empire Strikers right now are doing a great job just keeping away from them. Somebody's going to have to leave a mark. Somebody's going to have to take a chance from the Tacoma Stars to get this ball back.
Stinson's got an open shot. Toth was in his area. He made a good save. Stinson goes down against the glass. Empire wants a blue card for boarding. Hansen is on his way to the bench.
And that was great movement out of there from Justin Stinson. He faked the run to his right. Everybody knows the dominant foot is to the right. He dipped, he dived, he went to the left. Just a great save from Chris Toth.
Medical staff finally on the field after our official had been asking for it for about 30 seconds for Justin Stinson. Take a look again. I don't know if there's contact from Kyle Rivers there against the boards. There's contact there after Stinson has already fallen to the ground and their legs get tangled up. Surely that's not the foul that's getting called. Unfortunately, Tacoma has already used their video review. They used their challenge. They were unsuccessful. They don't get another one. Stinson is down. The call on the field is a foul. Again, I don't see the contact there.
I don't either. It's just along the boards, so I'm fine with the player safety, right? He did fall into the boards, whether it was from a push from Kyle Rivers or on his undoing. They still go out. They check on the guy. But what the Empire Strikers aren't realizing is now they just gave Tacoma Stars, in a sense, a free timeout. They let them catch their breath and get their legs back under them. So I bet you for the next 70 seconds here left in this game, you'll see as fresh as they can be players sprinting around the field trying to win that ball back.
I guess there's the hand push on the hip, which is leading Stinson into the wall. That I was not looking for. I see it from that angle now. Apologies that it took so long for me to see that. I was looking at the feet, trying to see something tangled up in the mix. Tacoma trail a goal. Empire on the free kick. The smart play here from Palmer is to just drop this ball all the way back to Orozco. And it gets dropped for Palmer, chipped over to the far side. Little game of keep away going on. Now it's all the way back for Orozco.
60 seconds remaining in the second half.
Jones wins the most crucial header for the Stars tonight.
Get it back to Toth, call the timeout. They're going to get their attacking 5 on the field.
Toth sets his foot on top of the ball. Timeout is called. We are going to keep it here throughout the entirety of this timeout. 47 seconds remain. You got to assume that the Stars are drawing this up for just one play. You're probably going to bring the 6th attacker onto the field right now, which looks like the pink jersey is out. We'll get a player identified on who it is. It looks like, yes, Felipe Souza, somebody who we haven't seen in the 6th attacker jersey yet this year. They will start with Felipe Souza having the ball in his hands, a quick rollout, and then move upfield. Who do you need to find for the Tacoma Stars to have the most successful attack here?
For me, it's a tough one. You want to put shooters on the field. You want guys that are not afraid to shoot. You have 45 seconds left, and your best shooters on the field, because you don't want to miss the target, because if it hits either side of the goalpost, it's going to go out flying. If it hits above, it's going to die short. You want to have your big man right at the red dot, at the penalty spot. Me personally, I'd have Nick Pereira there. You're going to build a house. You're going to have a guy get the ball short. He's going to play it wide, and you're going to have him push it up the field. That is if the Empire Strykers don't push. But likely, the ball's going to get played wide. You're going to have to dump it in. You're going to have to get scrappy.
You think the Empire Strykers are going to try and send numbers forward in high press here? I think that's a risky move for Empire. I know that that's the game. They play with a risky move, but I just don't see the smart play being the one that is pushing all the way downfield.
I could see with their number 19, Martinez, and number 20, Perez, those two have been flying around the field all night. You got a Palmer, you got a Cisse, you got a Swift, and you got those two up there. I could see they're not going to give Chris Toth, who looks like he's staying on as potentially the 6th attacker. I don't see them giving him any breathing room to get this ball past midfield unless it's a quick layout and it's dumped into the corner.
Toth will start with the ball in his hands. 47.6 seconds are on the clock. Tacoma needs some magic. Toth, big throw, looking for Pereira. Header flicked on. John, a header flicked on. The whistle is blown. I think advantage was played momentarily. Tyler John's header wasn't clean. The Stars get a free kick. Chris Toth will join the attack.
And that's the perfect scenario for Tacoma. They got the ball past midfield. Now they had something drawn up for that. It only took 3 seconds off the clock.
Ball restarted through Ramos. Toth, Cox. Toth. Ramos dealing with some pressure. Under 30 seconds. Cox with a strike, and it's just inches wide. Ramos leaves it. Caceres, it's headed away. Palmer does well. This ball bounces into the bench. 17.7 seconds remaining. Stars had 2 good looks.
It's bringing flashbacks from 6 years ago. Mike Ramos, San Diego Sockers, got the ball in this right-hand corner, hit it side net. We win the game. I feel something coming.
Long ball, Pereira. Cox goes flying. Cox apparently is the one who fouled. 8.7 seconds on the clock. That might just do it tonight. A short pass, a long ball, and you think that that's going to be it. Take a look. Here is that foul again. I don't love it, JJ. Jones, first time. Cox can't win the header. Toth comes crashing out. Jones against the boards. The final horn sounds. The Empire Strykers celebrate on the bench. A gritty road win for Empire. They come to Tacoma and they get the job done. It was an entertaining night of MASL soccer, as always, when these two teams match up. 7-6. the Stars were able to manage coming back from 2-goal deficits. They leveled the game. They had a lead. In the end, Empire Strykers, they were able to get the job done. They finished when it mattered. That fourth quarter, they outscored Tacoma 2-1, and that's what they needed to do to come into Tacoma and get a win. It hurts the home fans, but man, what a fun side the Empire Strykers are to watch night in, night out.
Yeah, no, ultimately it was a fun night. Obviously, you wish that the Stars came out on top. I'm not taking anything away from the Empire Strykers. They executed their game plan. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. They came out, they did it, they left with a win.
7-6 is the final score. That's going to do it for us here at the accesso ShoWare Center in Kent, Washington. For everyone back at Mission Control, for our technical director, Maximus Lockhart, for our broadcast engineer, Walter Valis, and everybody on the cameras, for JJ Schmeck, my color commentator, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Peyton Behrens. We will see you for the final Tacoma Stars home game on March the 21st, 2 weeks from today, when the Tacoma Stars play against the Kansas City Comets. You will see that game right here on MASL TV. Until next time, I'm Peyton Behrens, signing off.